Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV. We got a quick one today, a pair of media remotes for the Xbox consoles from 8Bitdo. These are designed to control your streaming apps, and you can use them to turn on your Xbox and navigate the menus, but you can't game on them. They are strictly for remote control types of activities. These work with the Xbox One series of consoles and the new Series S and X, but they don't work with the 360. And if you're like me and always hitting your control sticks and fast forwarding when you're using the regular game controller to watch your streaming apps, one of these might be really useful. And we're going to take a quick look at both of them in just a second, but I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that these came in free of charge from 8Bitdo. However, all the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this review, nor has anyone reviewed or approved what you're about to see before it was uploaded. So let's get into it now and see what these remotes are all about. Now, the short remote here costs $20, and the longer one is $5 more at $25. If you have apps that allow for numeric entry, then there might be a good reason to look at the longer remote here. So for example, I have my HD Home Run app open here, and I can type in channel 1091 with the numbers, and it will project those up on screen. But if you don't have apps that use numeric entry, then the short remote will probably be more than adequate. Both of these are backlit. The backlight illuminates when you move the controller a little bit, and they light up quite nicely in the dark. They're powered by AAA batteries, 2 of them, and they install inside the remote like you would expect. And the batteries come with the remote too, which is really nice. Now, these communicate with your Xbox console over infrared, so you do need a direct line of sight to your Xbox console for it to register button pushes. You can't play games on these. They're only for navigating through menus, but it is nice to get media controls right at your fingertips. So for example, here as we're watching TV, I do have the ability to pause TV in this app, so I can just hit the pause button here and then start playing again by hitting play. Likewise, I could do the same commands with the Xbox buttons on the top here. So for example, A would bring up the menu and allow me to pause. But with the pause button, I can do it all in one push versus 2. So you will get basic media controls here built into the remote. Now, unfortunately, you can't do much to customize the remotes, and this is true of these and all the other Xbox One remote controls that are out there. So for example, if I hit this button here, it's going to pull up the One Guide on my Xbox, which I am not using. What you can do, though, is jump into the settings and adjust what the One Guide button does. And to do that, you go over to your Devices and Connections option here. You go over to Media Remote, and what you can do is have that One Guide button launch a specific app. So for example, I could have it load up my HD Home Run app when I push it versus the One Guide. The problem, though, is that this is the only button you can make adjustments to. So now that we have that button configured and I push it here, that will load up the HD Home Run versus that One Guide thing that I'm not using. But unfortunately, there are a couple of other buttons on the longer remote here, these 2 and this one, that don't do anything because they are designed to work with that One Guide feature. So I'd love for Microsoft to put in a few more customization options to allow us to map buttons, but unfortunately you can't do that here. These are also not universal remotes, although you can program the Xbox to turn your TV on if you wanted to do that. So you can go into Settings here, go up to General. If you go to TV and Display Options and then Device Control, you can configure your TV make and model and be able to control its volume and power button through the Xbox using your remote. So if you've got a lot of different types of devices you're trying to control, you might want to look at a more robust, universal, and customizable remote. But for many people, the Xbox has become their go-to media device, especially because it's got the 4K Blu-ray player built in on most models. And what's nice about these remotes is that you can boot it up very quickly, just like you would with a dedicated streaming box, and get into your menus here and navigate them in a way that I think is more intuitive for content consumption. And then when you're ready to play games, you can break out your game controller and go from there. Like all 8Bitdo products, these are very nicely constructed, pretty reasonably priced, and they seem to be working quite well throughout the time that I have been testing them. That's going to do it for now. Until next time, this is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Hot Sauce and Video Games, Brian Parker, Chris Allegretta, Tom Albrecht, Thomas Anfang, Jim Tanis, and Handheld Obsession. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to Lon.TV/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit Lon.TV/s.